What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We have a lot to discuss. I'd like to introduce you guys to my new 2009 Nissan GT-R. It's been a dream of mine to have this car. I have always fanboyed over these a little bit, but I do not like these cars in the stock form. So let's get into the modifications on this car. As you'll see very quickly, first glance, it's got a drag radial on the back. It's got some powder-coated brake calipers. Otherwise, inside the car is very stock appearing inside. Stock seats, stock dash, stock wheel. Still got the factory floor mats. Everything in the car internally is completely factory. Got some clear side markers. Obviously the TE37 wheels. It's got some window tint on it, nothing crazy. I would like to replace the side skirts, the front lip, the rear diffuser, and the trunk and spoiler with some carbon stuff. First thing first to go though is I'm gonna do the wingless trunk. I guess it does have a duckbill on it. As you'll see down here, it's got a full Boost Logic titanium exhaust. Super nice. This car looks beautiful. Let me pull my phone up real quick. I will run you guys down through a couple of the modifications to the car. The list is very extensive, but let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so like I mentioned, this is a 2009 Nissan GT-R. The car has roughly 50,000 miles on it currently. I've put about 1,000 on it myself so far. The major modifications, it has a 4.1 liter stroker motor, and it also has a Jax built transmission with a full Albin's gear set. On top of that, it has, let's see here, it's got ETS GTX 3582R Gen 1 turbos. That's something I plan on changing rather quickly. They are a little bit outdated for this car. There are some better options now currently available in the market. So it should be going here to the shop soon, and we are going to swap those out for something a little newer, maybe a little bit beefier as well. The motor is supposedly rated for roughly about 1,600 horsepower. In its current setup, it has 4 maps on it. Those 4 maps are 800 horsepower, 900 horsepower, 1,000 horsepower, and on kill mode it makes roughly 32 to 33 pounds of boost, and it makes 1,200 horsepower to the wheel. That is crazy in an all-wheel drive car. This thing absolutely hooks and goes with those Nitto NT555 R2s in the back. It is a wicked car to drive. My plan is to take a lot more people for ride-alongs in this thing. I know there's a lot of people that have not gotten to experience a car of this caliber and a car that makes this much horsepower on the street. 60 to 130 for this car is sub 4 second. Also, again, crazy. It will be a roll race king on the streets here in the area. I can't wait to fix a couple little things that are going on right now with some boost sensors and get this thing out and do some roll racing with some of my buddies. I do plan on doing some digs with the car as well. It's just something that I don't really want to break the car, right? Yeah, it is built for that. It's got the upgraded differentials, axles, all that stuff. It's expensive. It's an expensive car to maintain and to build if it continues, to break the weakest link parts. So I'll probably do quite a bit of roll racing for the time being, but let's get in the car. Let's do a little startup. I'll open the engine bay and show you guys what's going on in there. There's a couple things I'd like to change in there as well. Let's get into it. to change immediately on this car are some of the coatings here on some of the intake pipes have been worn off. This car has been built since roughly 2017, so there are some cosmetic things that need to be changed. And another big thing is it's already plumbed for the third fuel rail. So with that third fuel rail, I'm gonna add another 6 injectors into the car, somewhere north of 1,000 cc. And we'll be able to crank this car up to somewhere around 1,500 to 1,600 horsepower, depending on what turbos we put in it when we go in there and swap out those ETS ones. Let's get back in the driver's seat. Let's go for a little drive. Like I said, it's not making peak boost right now. I have a little bit of a boost leak, I believe, but I'll be able to show you guys some of the cool noises the car makes and just street mannerisms of it. It's a great car for making 1,200 horsepower. It drives fantastically. So let's go for a ride. So right away, one of the first things that you will notice with this car as I shift through the gears is it does have some transmission whine. That is the straight cut Albin's gear set. As you get into third, fourth, and fifth, it makes the most noise. But, I mean, come on. This thing sounds absolutely incredible. So, the motor has 2 external wastegate dump tubes off of the turbos, and it also has a valved exhaust system. So, under, you know, normal light load driving, this car sounds relatively stock. I've taken a couple buddies for a ride, and I have taken it and showed it to a couple other people, and then, you know, drove away, and they let me know, hey, that thing sounds pretty docile. I'd agree with that. The car doesn't make a ton of noise until the exhaust valves open up and until those dump tubes open up for the turbos as well, and then it is absolutely raucous. So let's lean into it a little bit here in third gear. I'll show you some noises it makes. Yeah, you know, I always wanted one of these cars. I've had a lot of fast cars over the years. This thing is wicked. It makes insane horsepower. It makes some crazy noises, but it drives like a stock car. So let me get up here to the next destination. We'll do a little bit more talking about the plans for the car, and we'll go from there. I hope you guys are excited for this addition to the channel. I need to do an updated video with my Denali as well, and I also have a new Corvette that is another drift car that I have and have been building, which is currently at Wicked Whips over in Brookville. Dan and the boys are taking care of me again. I continue to break the car pretty much every time I look at it, which is just part of having a drift car. But let me get up here and get stopped again, and we'll close this video out and we'll go from there. Spoke too soon. The car's running good today. That was pretty much a full pull in tune number 2, which is roughly 900 horsepower to the wheel. Didn't hit any boost cuts, didn't hit any fuel cuts. It looked like we were hitting peak boost on the dash as well. Not really sure what was going on the other day. I obviously still need to get the car looked at, but that was pretty rowdy. This car is so much fun to drive. But again, like I mentioned, it cruises great. I'm in 6th gear. I've got traction control off. That's what the light is there. But we're just cruising at, 2,200 RPMs, going down the road at 60 miles an hour, and it is absolutely fantastic to drive. It's comfortable. It's relatively quiet for a 1,200 horsepower car. It's a good car to drive. Does it get good fuel mileage? No, not really. It's on full E85 right now. So it does consume some fuel. I did just fill the car up again, and with this car having Ecutech on it, I can hold the cancel button here on the steering wheel, and the coolant temperature, I know it might be hard for you guys to see on this camera, but the coolant temperature sensor currently shows the coolant temp. When I hold cancel on the steering wheel, changes to the ethanol content. So currently there is E82 in the car, which is pretty good. That would allow me really to run the top tune if I wanted to. I pretty much drive the car around in tune number 2 or 3, so 900 or 1,000 horsepower tune, just in case any of them boys in the snack packs want to pull up and get gapped, or anybody else. You know, I'm not really too worried about losing a race in this car. But again, let me get to my destination here real quick, hop out, talk about some of the plans for the car, do one more final walk around, and then we'll move on to the next video. Okay, so like I mentioned, some of the plans with the car are newer turbos under the hood. Those, like I said, are a little bit outdated. I may powder coat these wheels. I'm not really dead set on having black. I do like a little bit of a pop of color, but that is dependent on if we wrap the car or not. I went and saw my buddies over at Raptor Auto Styling, and we were looking at some color swatches, and I found 2 colors that I think would look really cool on this car. But for now, new turbos, injectors, 3rd fuel rail injectors, and a retune. Haven't decided who I'm going to have tune it yet. I may have my my guy Joe Lala over at Dula Tuned put it on his rollers and see what we can shake out of it. Other than that, the goal is just to drive the car. It's great. It's still got low miles for a 2009. I want to do some roll racing. I want to take it to some car shows. I want to just enjoy the car for a little bit. If you know me, I don't keep anything, so I'm not really certain how long I'll keep the car, but as of right now, I don't have any intentions of listing it for sale. Now, if something come along to trade the car to, that was a trade up, obviously I would entertain that, but for right now, this is a great addition to the fleet. Corvette's not pictured right now. Like I said, it's at the shop, and then we'll do another video on this old girl here soon. That's my 2015 GMC Sierra 2500 Denali Duramax. Got some cool stuff coming for that truck as well. But for now, thank you guys for watching. Tune in for the next video. If you're not subscribed already, make sure you click the subscribe button and hit the bell as well. You'll be notified next time I upload. Until next time, peace.